What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Two guys minus the mic. Our boy's not feeling good again this week, or not again, but he's not feeling good this week. So he figured to give his little vocal cords a rest tonight. So you got me and Josh again. Here we go.
I have to say, it always sucks to not have the three of us together, especially when we have to do virtual, but obviously we got to keep up every week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is part of the job.
Yeah, what do they say? The show must go on.
Show must go on. Hey, quick shout out to Dallas and Mike. Happy anniversary to those guys. I think it's been 9 years, so very happy for them, and they're a great, beautiful couple. So
yes. Shout out to them. Their anniversary was yesterday, so we let Mike get away with not being here yesterday. Normally we do this on a Wednesday night, and usually doesn't get posted until later, but tonight's on a Thursday. So Mike was gracious enough to send us his picks for this week, so when we get into pick'ems, we can still have our three picks between the three of us. Speaking of pick'ems, last week, Josh, very well done. Mike and I did better than we did last week, but we'll get into that when we do the pick'ems this week. So we'll get into some reactions from this past week. There are some things to talk about, some surprise games, some comebacks, some injuries, some dominant defenses. We can get into stuff like that. So we'll start with last Thursday's game. Let's start with last Thursday's game, Josh. I'm sure you liked watching that game. The Eagles taking care of the Vikings, but they almost let them back into the game. I mean, they did let them back into the game, but they almost made them look like they were a good team.
Yeah, they sweat it out pretty good. I mean, but bottom line is the Eagles got it done. The Vikings are who I thought they were.
Yeah.
No, I think more so. What's interesting, obviously, the Vikings have some issues. They just traded for Cam Akers, so
yes,
trying to clear up that run game. I'm a little bit more like the Eagles are kind of scary a little bit. Like not scary, but they don't seem as dominant as they were last year.
Not who we thought they were. They're the team that were not who we thought they were. The interesting thing I think about this, the takeaway from this game for me is there is going to be a narrative that Kirk Cousins can't win in prime time, but I felt like this game wasn't Kirk's fault.
Yeah.
I felt like he didn't have the help this game.
Right.
And for the Vikings to go forward and be as good as I thought they were going to be, they need to figure out something on that offensive line. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's week 2. Obviously, can't hit the panic button, but they're 0-2, so you have to make changes.
Not a good way to start a season. And there are a few teams that preseason we thought would be pretty dominant that have the shocking start of 0-2.
Yeah.
So then we'll run down the 1 o'clock games here. The Raiders and Bills. We all thought Bills would come back and dominate, and they did. They pretty much came back and did that. The Ravens and Bengals was a good game, which we thought it would be a good game. The Bengals, interestingly enough, they started 0-2 last year.
Interesting. And
they made it pretty far in, but one of the kids I went to high school was a big Bengals fan, and he was saying, okay, 0-2, we should start getting a little worried now. And I said, well, let's, pump the brakes. They were 0-2 last year. Look how they went. And he brought up a good point to me. He said, there's a difference between starting 0-2 and starting 0-2 in your division. And I think that could hurt them this year, that it's 0-2 in the division.
Yeah, and they look like ugly bad. It doesn't look like where they can't. Obviously it was a close game, but their offense does not look like it's clicking, and that's where they're, truly incredible at. So it's kind of a little bit scary.
It is, and as for the Ravens, OBJ went down in this game.
Yeah.
But I think that's honestly I kind of think that's an afterthought for them. I don't think OBJ was going to be much for them anyways.
Right.
But it's just another injury.
Yeah.
For the Ravens. Another game that actually had a comeback win in it. The Seahawks pulling it out in overtime over the Lions.
Yep.
I was a little surprised. I think both teams will be fine in this one. But my favorite part of this game was the ref telling Geno he was talking to America.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny, funny moment.
That'll go down as an all-time good referee interaction with a player.
Yep.
Tell him he's talking to America. And then another 1:00 game. Oh, the Chargers and Titans also went into overtime. Again, the Chargers pulling Charger moves.
It's really annoying, to be completely honest. I'm done picking them.
Right. Their offense plays well, but their defense just can't stop anybody.
They didn't have Eckler. That's a huge loss.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, they have a lot of weapons. They need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. And like I said, their defense, for some reason, their defense isn't doing much this year.
Yeah.
You know, they have some good players on defense. They're just not putting together.
Yep.
That might be a team I might start panicking over. The Chargers.
I mean,
I'm definitely nervous right now.
You guys had them a lot lower in ranking than I did,
yeah.
So if you have to panic, then I should be screaming panic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'm panicked for them yet, but I'm definitely on watch with them because I feel like they should have beat the Titans. That shouldn't be a game that they lose.
Right.
You know, and I forget who they played in week 1.
The Dolphins, which
was a tough game. So yeah, but and then the Bears dropping to 0-2 against the Buccaneers, who are 2-0 now. Baker Mayfield's looking pretty good.
Baker's looking good. Fields is not. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. For fantasy purposes, a lot of people are hyped up on him.
Right.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, they try to turn him into a pocket passer, which is never a good thing when you have a natural scrambler like Fields, Lamar, those guys, and then you try to turn him into a pocket passer. It doesn't usually work out well.
Yeah.
I did see an interview somewhere where they were asking him about something going on, and he was trying to be politically correct about it and dancing around, and then finally said, "Well, it might be coaching." I think that was a little shot at the coaching staff trying to get him to be a pocket passer.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. They obviously were not great before, and then they changed and let Fields go and do their thing, and he at least was pretty decent. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Another game we have here is the Chiefs and the Jaguars, which was a good game.
Good game.
I was glad that was another game that I was pretty hyped about. There was two good teams going at it. The Chiefs pulling it out, 17-9. Both teams look good. I wouldn't really.
Chiefs defense that's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think it having Kelsey back and having Chris Jones back makes a huge difference on that team.
Yeah, I agree. Two huge leaders.
Yeah,
playmakers. Just incredible.
After that week 1 loss, obviously Kelsey had an injury, so he's back. He's good to go, and I think the Chiefs realize we need to get Chris Jones back too, see what he needs, what he wants, and good for Chris Jones. They came to an agreement and got him back on the field.
Yeah, it's crazy how just a quick with Travis Kelce, it opens up other receivers. I mean, we were talking about Sky Moore and how he had a decent game. I think it was 3 for 70, so he blew up. He got probably a long touchdown.
Yeah, he got a pretty long touchdown at one point.
So I mean, obviously, but it helps that having Travis out there to kind of take away that middle of the field.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you definitely have different defensive schemes when you have Travis Kelce on the field and Travis Kelce in street clothes.
Right. Yeah, agreed.
The other game we had were the Colts and the Texans. The Colts put up 31 to win this game, 31-20. Anthony Richardson started off hot in this game. He was doing real well. I was playing Ryan. He's got him on his team, and I was like, oh, man, here we go. And then he went down with a concussion, which saved me. But I was a little disappointed to see that he went down because I think that's going to be an interesting matchup for years to come, is the Richardson Stroud matchup.
Yep. Interesting fact, I'm trying to think of, I think it was Stroud has the third most ever pocket dropbacks or something like that. I forgot exactly. I forgot what the stat was. I was listening to a podcast and they were saying how, but anyways, his they're putting him out there. So I mean, he's doing pretty good. I mean, he's not amazing, right? No rookie's going to be amazing, but it's going to be. I think they're going to be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
That division is going to be fun.
I just hope they don't do a repeat of what they did with David Carr.
Oh, David Carr. Gotcha. Yeah.
Then, speaking about comebacks and interesting games from the 1 o'clock, we see you repping over there. You know, you got to give them a little bit of respect. But the Falcons came back to stay at 2-0, and they took down the Packers 25-24. I didn't watch this game. I was busy watching other games and stuff. I could see it across the ticker on the bottom there. And I remember sitting there being like, oh, Green Bay's got this under control. And then all of a sudden I was like, dude, what happened? So, Josh, what happened?
Fourth quarter, we were up 24-12. And then they scored 13 points unanswered. Was able to get things taken care of. I wasn't able to watch the game. I didn't have access to be able to watch the game. I watched most of it on Red Zone as much as I could and just kept track of the game. I think the hardest thing that we had a really hard time stopping the run, which Atlanta has two running backs that are good.
Right.
And I think we're really missing those weapons that we had before, the Aaron Jones, the Christian Watson, who's coming back. So, I mean, it's definitely not a panic, but it was like one of those wins where we could have been 2-0, and it would have felt really good. But I had to represent Falcons because, I mean, they're better than we thought they were, right?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. But yeah, like I said, I was watching the bottom of the sports ticker, and I was like, oh, Green Bay is like, at first I was like, wow, Green Bay is definitely better than I thought they were going to be.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, there's Green Bay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was tough to watch at the end there.
Yeah, I'm sure as a Green Bay fan. But we won't grind too much dirt into the wounds. We'll move on now. And we'll go out west. Well, another team, although they didn't win, still surprised me was the Rams, and they went toe-to-toe with the Niners, and the Niners won 30-23. I think the Rams, if Stafford can stay healthy all year, I think they'll be all right.
They'll have a fighting chance.
Yeah, they got some fight in them.
Yeah, I think it's a division game, right? So I think divisional games, everybody plays better, naturally against each other. Puka is looking really good. What's his name?
Atwell?
What's that, Sidney?
Atwell? Tutu Atwell?
No. Yeah, Tutu Atwell. Yeah, the other receiver, right?
Yeah, from Louisville.
He's stepped up. He's been playing good. So I feel like their team, if they can and then get cut back, I think they'll be okay. But 49ers are just, I mean, they're gonna be a good team this year. So
Stafford threw for 307 yards. He did have 2 interceptions in the game, which it's a Stafford thing to do. Williams,
I don't know.
he only had 52 yards on 14 carries. That's not bad, and he had a touchdown. So,
yeah, I think he had some receiving because he did pretty well in fantasy.
Yeah.
So some receiving stuff too. But he's he's definitely their Kyren. Yeah, he's definitely their for sure number one back. Obviously, after Cam got traded. So
So he had 6 catches for 48 yards and another touchdown.
Yeah.
So he did well for them. And like you said, Pua, right? Pua, that's his name. Puka. He ended up with 15 catches for 147 yards. So
yeah, he's good. He's the first rookie to ever do what he's done. He's gonna be good.
Yeah,
and good. He's not. And the cool part with him is he's not a slot receiver either. He that's not his natural position. So when Cooper Kupp comes back, I feel like they, as much as he'll probably get targets taken away, I think they'll be really effective together. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, if Cooper can come back and return to form, that would be real nice. Then we had the Giants. They are not where we thought they were going to be either.
They came back.
They did come back, and they had the largest. But at the same time, it was the Cardinals.
Yeah.
The fact that they had to come back to beat the Cardinals doesn't give me much hope for them for the rest of the year, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to double think about my Giants prediction almost as much as I'm going to be upset with my Dolphins prediction.
Yeah. Barkley's out for a little bit. Their line is not good.
And then they lost one of their better linemen for this game tonight.
49ers defense, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, so the Giants Daniel Jones got paid and then did what most quarterbacks do when they get paid. They stop playing where they were before they got paid. So, but...
Right?
Yeah, right. Surprised, I thought we'd hear more about Darren Waller than we actually have, too.
He's hurt, though, so it's tough. It's he's fighting through this injury, which sucks.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure Fitzy's glad I'm not working at Raymond right now with the Giants playing as poorly as they have been. So, then we went on to... wish Bo was here to talk about this. The Cowboys-Jets here. Dude, Parsons is a beast.
He's unbelievable.
Beast.
Easily. Top 2 for sure. Top 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 1-2 punch that you cannot, and we all know who the other one is. Come on. But he's a monster, man.
Yeah. He's disgusting. Now, the Dallas defense did take a major blow today.
Yep.
Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL in practice, and he's out for the year now.
That sucks. That's a big time player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but I think they'll be okay though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that even with that injury, with Micah out there causing havoc like he does for a quarterback, I think he should be all right. I think he makes Diggs a better corner.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So
yeah, he's a different breed.
Yeah. They were saying something about how he brought up the question of how come a defensive player is never an MVP? Why wouldn't a defensive player be an MVP candidate type of thing? And I think he's making a strong case for why a defensive player could be an MVP.
Yeah, I mean they're not winning. Their offense is they're doing well offensively, but without that defense, they would not be where they're at right now.
No.
So they're scary looking. They're really good.
Yeah. Game disruptor, game changer. Micah Parsons is that guy this year. He's playing out of his mind. And then another surprise, I would say surprise 2-0, to put 3 teams in their division at 2-0. The Washington Commanders came back and beat the Broncos, and then avoided the most insane collapse at the end of a game I've ever seen by preventing a 2-point conversion. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. The Hail Mary and how that bounced right to their guy and all that. And I was like, man, this is what Washington does. They play good all game, and then they let something like a Hail Mary and a 2-point conversion lose it. But they didn't. They stopped the 2-point conversion, and like I said, there's 3 teams in that division that are 2-0 now.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. I would say they're pretty glad that Chase Young is back.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a huge help for their team. So
yeah,
interesting.
Then that brings us to the Sunday night game. The 2-0 Dolphins took care of the Patriots and dropped them to 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots are now 0-2, which I think I had them going like 4 or 5 games without winning one.
Right.
This year. I know I did last year, but I think I did this year. And the Dolphins just look strong. They look good. But again, it's that as long as Tua stays healthy type of thing.
Yeah. They do look good. The Patriots divisional game again. The Patriots, Bill Belichick. Funny little situation with his challenge flag. He got pretty upset with the call, I guess. But there's a lot of memes going around with him. But I think the Dolphins are definitely going to be a team to watch, like we talked about. I mean, obviously I had them, being pretty great. So
yeah, you do. And I obviously made a big mistake on the Dolphins this year. But yeah, they're going to be a fun game to watch, or a fun team to watch. Then it brought us to the appetizer for Monday night. They're doing double headers on Monday nights for the next couple weeks.
I hate it.
Yeah, it really is stupid. I hear it's because of the writers' strike or whatever there for Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
ABC needs something, so they're filling in Monday night games. I don't know. I don't pay attention to any of that. But there was 2 games this past Monday. The first one, the early one, was the Saints and the Panthers. From what it looks like, I did watch bits and pieces of it here, and I saw like when the ABC went split screen, and they had both games up for a little bit. The Saints look pretty good. The Panthers look like there's still a lot of fight in them, but I don't know if they're going to have enough to get through a lot of stuff. And the Saints improved to 2-0, and the Panthers fall to 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, we all picked the Saints to win this game. I think they didn't. What was the final score of that game? Do you remember?
20-17.
2017. So, I mean, I feel like the Saints, from what I watched, they didn't look great by any means, and especially going against a Carolina team that hasn't been great.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got the job done. So,
yeah. And they were down to their third running back. Kamara's suspended. Jamal Williams got hurt. But Jones Jr. came in and did well for him. So
yeah,
they got him enough for the win. So
yeah, see what happens.
Which then brings us to the creme de la creme. At the Steelers-Browns game. The Steelers pulled off 26-22. Their defense won that game 100%. Offense didn't really do anything. But the biggest takeaway from this game is the Nick Chubb injury.
Yeah.
And that just sucks. I like Nick Chubb. Yeah, it does. It really does. The NFL is just better when those top running backs are in and running. And Nick Chubb is one of the top running backs in the league, and he does it peacefully, I guess we could say. Like, he doesn't talk trash. He's not flashy. He just comes and grinds and goes. And this is the second, like, devastating knee injury too. I believe it's the same knee
It sucks, man. Because it's like how much more punishment can he take?
Yes.
The guy's a monster. He's a beast. He's old school. He's like the complete package.
Yes.
Of an old school running back that's like just gets the job done. It sucks. I mean, they have Ford that came out, did pretty well against the Steelers.
Yep.
We'll see. But it's always, again, like we talked about, for the NFL, it's never fun to watch. A player like that.
And the stars go down. That obviously ESPN said they weren't going to show the injury. I did see pictures of it floating around the internet, and it did not look pretty. Another thing, takeaway out of this game, other than the Steelers' defense just being crazy dominant and carrying that team, Deshaun Watson just, I feel like his team's not behind him. I feel like they just don't rally to him like most quarterbacks get the team to do. And then he got 2 extremely stupid face mask penalties.
Really?
That kind of ended put a stop to their drives. The first one they were driving, and I forget who it was. One of our guys is going at him, and he clearly grabs his face mask and then throws him.
Deshaun Watson does it.
Deshaun Watson did it to the defensive player as they're going out of bounds. So of course he got an unsportsmanlike, face mask type of penalty.
Right.
And then literally 4 or 5 plays later, he's doing it to another player where he grabs their face mask and yanks down, and so Watson got a second face mask penalty. And then I didn't see it, but I read during the recaps of the games that he also pushed a ref.
Yes, I did hear about that, and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. So
they talked about it. They're like he like any other play, any other situation like that, they would have been kicked out of the game. I mean, you touch a ref and
it's immediate ejection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a few years back, Brandon Stokely went like this, and his hand touched the ref's fingertip, and they kicked him out of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be some hefty fines coming handed his way.
Yeah.
But this game was nuts for Alex Highsmith and T.J. Watt. They played lights out.
T.J. Watt, the other player.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Micah and T.J., man, those guys are just unworldly, amazing players.
Yeah. I mean, Green Bay's got a good one too. I mean, I don't know if he'd be the top, but Rashawn Gary, right? That's his name.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary.
He played well the first couple games, so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rashad Gary.
Rashad Gary.
I'd be criticized terribly if. Yeah, no, he plays. He's a good. I thought you were going to go Alexander at first. You're Louisville guy.
I do like Alexander. I do
about.
like Alexander, but I'm talking like edge rushing. They got some. I mean, I would consider Alexander one of the top corners in the league too.
Yeah, for sure. He's got that dog in him. He's got that attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Better than everybody, but
no.
Yeah.
It was a good week. Unfortunately, the injuries, and they happen every year. It sucks when it's week 2. Well, back-to-back Monday night injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And
star players.
Yeah, and I think the last Monday night game of last season was the Damar Hamlin game.
Jeez.
So I think it's the last 3 Monday night regular season games, because I don't even know if postseason has Monday night games or not, but I would say the last 3 Monday night games, I think it is, there's been a major injury. And it's just crazy.
Coincidence for sure, but I mean...
Yeah, and it's, like we said, injuries are part of the game, but you hate seeing them this early in the season, and you hate seeing them to the star power people that... that's where us common folk who work hard for our money want to go spend it to see somebody. You want to go see those guys, But I mean, Cleveland loves Kareem Hunt too, and they brought him back. He was brought back. Kareem Hunt brought back. Cam Akers being traded to the Vikings. So there's some movement going on. I think some teams are getting ready to hit the panic button, but not quite panicking.
Yeah, for sure.
So
be interesting.
It could be. All right. So let's go on to our pick'ems for the week. We can run through these. I have Mike's picks here, and then obviously you and I will give our picks.
Are we doing records? I don't want you to forget that.
Yes, we will go through the records of the pick'ems. So week 1, Mike and I both went 7-9, and Josh went 11-5. This week, Mike and I both went 9-7, and Josh went 11-5.
We're keeping it consistent.
You're keeping it consistent, and you got a good little cushion for yourself right now.
I do. I'm extremely lucky right now. So
hey, sometimes that's all it takes is just luck.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me see here. We are starting off today's game is the Giants and Niners. Currently in the third quarter with 10:45 left. Giants have the ball and they are down 17-6. It's safe to say all three of us were going 49ers on this one.
Yeah, there was no question there.
Yeah.
We all went 49ers.
Yeah. So, all right, so then we'll go. We have the Titans and the Browns. This is an interesting game now. With the injury and everything. I probably would have went Browns before, but now due to Chubb's injury, and I'm interested to see if Watson gets any kind of recoil from the pushing of the ref, if there is a suspension or if it's just fines. But I'm going to go with the Titans on this one. And Mike also went with the Titans.
I'm going to go Browns.
Okay. All right. Then we have the 2-0 Falcons versus the 1-1 Lions. Falcons are looking good, but I'm going to go with our adopted team. I'm going to go with the Lions. I think they're a stronger team. I expect another close game, though. And Mike also went with the Lions for this.
Yeah, I think I'm going the Lions. I think last week they had a tough loss. I don't think they're going to lose again. I think they're going to give Atlanta the first loss. I think they're a better team for sure.
Okay.
But like you said, I think it'll be a good game at least.
Which brings us to the 2-0 Saints going at the 1-1 Packers. You said Christian Watson's coming back for this game.
He's still questionable, but he should be back.
He's questionable, so he's not playing because he doesn't ever fight through injuries. What about Aaron Jones?
That I'm not sure about. I haven't heard anything specifically on Aaron Jones. Okay. That is a good question.
Okay. I am going to ride with you, my friend, and I'm going to go Packers. We'll see. I like the defense has been showing up pretty good this year, even with the collapse against Atlanta. But Kamara's not back yet, so I think you guys got one more week, and I don't know if what Jamal Williams' injury was and if he's back or not, but
I don't think so.
I'm gonna run with the Packers. Mike, on the other hand, is really reaching for his 12-5 with the Saints, so he's going with the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him with his record. He's got it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, no, you know where I'm going with this. It's a natural.
Yeah, you gotta ride with him. And then the 2-0 Miami Dolphins going against the 0-2 Broncos.
I think we could all
just this one. Yeah, this is just a sweep. Everyone's going to go with the Dolphins on this one. And this could quite possibly be another huge blowout.
Yeah.
We've seen a few of them this year. Okay. Here's an interesting game. Both teams at 0-2 looking for a win to start a spark for something. We have the Los Angeles Chargers traveling into Minnesota to go against the Vikings. The Chargers and Vikings. Now, the loser of this game, I think, starts to panic because you don't want to start 0-3.
I 100% agree. And it would make me the happiest.
Okay, so we know where you're going to go with this one. You're going Chargers. First of all, because they're your closeted, lovely team that you are obsessed with. Second, because you hate the Vikings so much, right? Am I predicting this correctly?
I mean, it's probably flop, right? The hatred of the Vikings.
It's more than the love for the Chargers.
Yeah, would love to see them go 0-3. And also my pick for them to be 12-5, that the Chargers have to kind of win.
Start winning. So. Yeah, okay. So you're going Chargers. Mike is on the Vikings, and I'm kind of in the same boat with you. In order for my team to start producing where I put them, which is at 13-4, I'm going to need the Vikings to start winning. So I am going to go with the Vikings. Also, I'd like to celebrate with Ella. Let her know her team did something well. So we're going to go with the Vikings on that one.
Fair enough.
Right? And then we got the 0-2 Patriots at the 1-1 Jets. Mike went with the Patriots on this one. He thinks the Patriots get their first win. Belichick seems to have the number of the Jets. But I can't. I'm going to go with the Jets, and I would love to see the Patriots go 0-3. I think that would just be amazing to see the Patriots go 0-3. So I'm going to go with the Jets at home.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna go Patriots. It's a tough situation. Jets are a good team. They just really got to figure out the quarterback situation.
Right. They do.
And Breece Hall, like,
I'm hoping Breece. I think.
Breece, okay.
I think it's Breece. I'm hoping there's a heavy dose of Breece Hall this week. I think they need to bring him into the game a little more. My fantasy team would surely appreciate a little bit more of Breece Hall. Then we have the 1-1 Bills going into the nation's capital of Washington and taking on the 2-0 Commanders. I think this is the Commanders' dose of reality. And I think the Bills take this one.
Yeah, mark it up.
So that's a clean. That is also a clean sweep because Mike took the Bills as well.
Yeah.
Then we have the 0-2 Texans playing the 1-1 Jags. For some reason, this division always plays each other pretty good. So I think it could be an interesting game, but I think it's going to be the Jags. And Mike also says the Jags.
This is where upset of the week. I feel like Houston, again, divisional game. I think this is where Houston might surprise people. Just for the week.
Yeah?
I'm gonna go Houston.
Okay.
I mean, I have a little bit of room, right? To like.
You do. You got a little cushion. I mean,
yeah.
You're sitting at 20. You're sitting at 5 games ahead of Mike and I, so.
Yeah.
You got some cushion. And then we go on to the 1-1 Colts versus the 2-0 Ravens. As much as I would love to see the Ravens lose to a team like the Colts, I can't see the Ravens losing to a team like the Colts. So I'm going to end up going with the Ravens to go to 3-0. As much as that pains me to say. You know what? Yeah, no, I'll stay with the Ravens.
I agree. I think if Richardson was there, maybe there might have been like a little bit of a, maybe exciting. Like it would have been kind of cool to see the two of them go at it. But
yeah, and Mike also has the Ravens, so that puts us at another clean sweep for Baltimore. Then we move on to our 4 o'clock game. Is the Panthers at the Seahawks? Mike took the Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I think they're just a better team.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Panthers have a lot to work through. So
right. So we got another clean sweep. Then we go on to the 4:30 games and the Bears at the Chiefs. And the Bears just don't look good at all. The Chiefs look like they're back to their dominant form with Kelsey and Chris Jones returning. It'd be interesting to see if they try to make Fields pocket pass all game again, or if they let him go back to his scramble ways when they're down, because I think they're going to get down fast and big.
Right.
So I'm going to see.
Let's watch out for the Chiefs' defense here, because obviously, I mean, the Bears aren't like exciting offense, but I think they're something special this year.
Okay.
So yeah, Chiefs are going to win. That's my prediction.
All right. And then we go on to
Mike was the Chiefs, by the way.
Yes, that's another clean sweep for the Chiefs.
Okay.
The last 4:30 game. I don't know who the Cowboys paid to get the schedule they got, but there's going to be a lot of talk about how great they are and how this Super Bowl year and all this stuff. They play the Giants, the Aaron Rodgers-less Jets, and now they're going to play the Cardinals. So it should be another feast of a game for that defense. I think Micah has Josh Dobbs already shaking in his boots, and they haven't even touched the field yet. So I'm gonna go the Cowboys. Obviously, you know where Mike went.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep for this. It's no brainer, no question.
Yeah. Which then brings us to the Sunday night game. 2 weeks back to back prime time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They will be traveling to Las Vegas to play the Raiders, which means I'm either going to channel my inner Immaculate Reception and wear my Franco Harris jersey, or I'm going to channel the 70s and I'll put on my Lynn Swann jersey for this. But either way, my terrible towel is going to be waving all night long as the defense carries us to victory once more. And I have the Steelers beating the Raiders. Now, with that being said, the Raiders have always given the Steelers a tough time. Terrell Pryor with his 93-yard run a few years ago. Even when they're a garbage team, they give the Steelers a hard time. So I'm not going to hate on Mike too much for going with the Raiders. But I still think he's wrong. So.
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to use, because my boy is a Steelers fan, I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm no offense, I'm not confident in it by any means.
I mean, I get it. Their offense has been lackluster. They have one big play a game, but that defense is.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch too much of the Monday night game, so I'm interested to watch the Sunday night game. I'm looking forward to watching their defense.
All right. Then, like I said before, we got another doubleheader on Monday night. The first game slated on Monday night is a good one. Someone's got to lose. They have the 2-0 Eagles traveling into Tampa Bay to take on the 2-0 Bucks. Mike went with the Eagles.
Wow.
Is it an upset that I would pick the Bucks? Would that be an upset technically?
Yes, I would say that would be an upset.
Then this is probably where I'm going to throw my upset in.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell you why. I just am feeling Baker Mayfield on the Bucks this year.
They're playing good. They're playing good together. So, I don't blame you. However, I'm going Eagles. So
Okay, and like we were talking earlier previously, we were saying, are the Eagles who we thought they were? They're not the same Eagles as last year, so I think this could be a test for them.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be shocked if they did get upset.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't be shocked if they put it all together and blew them out. So, like, you don't know.
Yeah, I heard there's some rumblings going on with A.J. Brown right now.
Interesting.
He hasn't been getting the touches. He's not quite as happy. But Devonta Smith is doing well now, so.
Yeah.
Who do you feed?
Right.
Which brings us to our final Monday night game. It's the 1-1 Rams at the 0-2 Bengals. Like we were talking earlier, the Bengals aren't clicking yet. And the Rams are clicking pretty good right now. I thought this would be an interesting one for me to pick. Going with the Rams again. Another upset type of, so to say. Because I thought you two were going to go the Bengals. But it looks like Mike's thinking the same way I am. And he also went Rams for this. So the two of us are on the Rams train for this one. And the Bengals would fall to 0-3, which would be very interesting.
I am not confident in this. However, statistically and strategically, I would like to go with the Bengals. They're a good team. They just need to get back on track. However, I'm not confident by any means with this pick.
So I would go back and forth on this one. I feel like the Bengals need this game more than the Rams do. Clearly, they don't want to go 0-3, and the Rams at 1-2 would still be in an okay position. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see the Rams take it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think that it wouldn't. At the beginning of the year, we would be like, no, this is a no-brainer. And the Bengals going in and destroying them. I think both teams are surprising on both ends.
Yeah. So. Well, another interesting week of the NFL. Hopefully, there's no more big injuries. They can get through this league or this week healthy. Hey, that's another. We'll say that was another good episode here. Again, missing our little witty comment partner here. Resting up his vocal cords for next week, we'll say.
Silent killer.
Yeah.
Fan favorite.
Fan favorite. I think, if he misses one more, I think we might have to implement the mandatory pillow back.
We just might have to.
Just to spike viewership, I mean, we're losing it when he's not in here. And then we'll have to bring back Mike with the pillow to spike those numbers up again.
I agree.
But hey, a good episode. Interesting week coming up. Seeing if some of these teams can avoid the 0-3. A few teams looking to be putting themselves in the 3-0 category. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Be a good week. Looking forward to it.
Yes. So, for another week, that's two guys. One Mike.
One Mike.
Where's he at?
No Mike.
Peace.